Now, I don't want to talk about what's happening in Gaza. Let's start what's happening in the West Bank.
Right.
They put checkpoints between our villages and our cities because they want to do the Palestinian people life very difficult, leave their lands and their housing. And every night in the evening, they come at 2 morning, 3 morning to the housing of the Palestinian people. They broke in the doors and enter the house and arrest the students, children, women sometimes. And we have more than 6,000 Palestinian people now in the city present. Most of them are from the West Bank. And they're stealing our lands every day, morning. The settlers come out from their settlement, stealing our lands, and start to building of illegal settlement against the international law.
Right, but someone would say that the PA also has itself to blame for how Israel is behaving towards the Palestinian people. What would you say to those people?
The PLO?
No, the Palestinian Authority has itself to blame when it comes to what Palestinians are facing right now.
The Palestinian Authority tried to do everything to help my people. And Israel did not want to sitting on the table with our authority. Israel want anything with the Palestinian people, want to do anything with the Palestinian people, except sitting on the table and talk about the peace process. So my authority try to help my people in the West Bank and in Gaza. But, you know, our president, if he want to travel from Ramallah in the West Bank to Jordan, he need to take permission from the Israelis. Our Prime Minister the same, our ministers the same. You need to take permission, then you can travel.
But the PA agreed to those things.
My people living under the Israeli occupation. This is the worst occupation in the history. All my people suffering 75 years under this occupation. And we are waiting to the moment to feeling we are free and in this occupation.
Your Excellency, I understand that. But what I'm saying is the PA agreed to those things. So how do you turn around to complain?
Agree for what?
You agreed that Israel has 60% of the West Bank while you operate, settlements A and B.
My authority agree from 1967 about the two-state solution. And all the world asked Israel to stop its occupation to our land, which occupied in 1967, including East Jerusalem, the capital city of the Palestinian people, according to international law, according to the delegation 242 and 338. Israel should leave our lands, which occupied in 1967. This land, 22% from our historical land. You know, my people started suffering from 1948. When Israel started bombing our villages, our housing, our everything, and they occupied 78% from our lands. In 1967, Israel occupied all the Palestinian lands, Gaza, the West Bank, Sinai, it is Egyptian land, not Palestinian land. And they occupied the Golan, Syrian land.
Let's come back to discussing the PA's role in all of this. So when the PA signed the Oslo Accords, the PA knew that 60% of the West Bank had been given to Israel control.
Okay.
So what is the PA asking for now? You're asking back for your 60%?
You know, in Oslo Agreement, I want all the people, I want everything to be clear in this meeting. And I want the Ghanaian people to understand exactly what's happened between the Palestinians and the Israelis. I'm not come to this interview to lie. I'm come to talk like this street, not like this.
Right.
We signed agreement with the Israelis, Oslo Agreement in 1993. And our former president, Yasser Arafat, and the Prime Minister of Israel, Yitzhak Rabin, signed this agreement in 1993. Look what's happened in Palestine and in Israel. And you look to the difference between the Palestinian people and the Israelis. All my people start to organize very big demonstration, support to this agreement. All the Palestinian people went to the street. And in the other side, the Israelis start to organize very big demonstration against the agreement. And Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, lead this agreement, and he talked very bad against the Prime Minister of Israel and about this agreement. And what's happened after that? One from the Israelis, his name is Yigal Amir, he shot the Prime Minister of Israel and he killed him.
Absolutely.
After that, he killed the peace process. And from that time, Israel, look, she signed the agreement with her right hands, and she continues stealing our lands with her left hands.
I see.
And about the 6% from the land in the West Bank, they talk about okay, if you want to keep a big settlement in the West Bank, the Palestinian people was ready to take another land in some places in front of these lands. We agree about establishment of an independent our state on the land which occupied in 1967, and all the world support this, except Israel and America.
I see.
And you see, the Americans said...
When the PA decided to resort to peace talks with Israel for a two-state area, one of the things that the PA has been accused of is clamping down on its people when they protested Israel. Do you think that may have contributed to where we are now?
Now? Mm-hmm. Now, I don't think there is any chance for continue the peace process because all the Israel government is the right government. They are extremism and racism, and they don't believe with any Palestinian people to continue living in his house, in his country, in his lands. And today morning, one of their ministers, his name is Smotrich, and there is a member of them from the Likud political party for Benjamin Netanyahu. They call for transfer all the Palestinian people from Gaza to the European countries outside Palestine and some of the Arab countries too. And he said, because the human thinks, look how they are talking. Look, they are looking to us as numbers, not as a human. And some of them talk. They are looking to us as animals.
Right. So what I'm asking is, do you see the PA's role in this?
The peace?
No, do you see the Palestinian authorities blame in this? Do you think we can blame Palestinian Authority for where Palestinians are at the moment?
My authority, she cannot do everything. My authority, since the last 16 years, she sent to Gaza the money for the hospitals, for the education, and take care about my people in the West Bank. I support the peace process.
And where is the PA getting this money from? The PA is getting this money from the U.S. and from Israel, and for some people,
this our
the
money.
PA is in bed with the enemy.
This is our money. This is our money. We don't take anything from Israel. Israel take our money from the borders, and then she give it to us. And sometimes she cut some from this money and take it.
I see.
They try to stealing everything, including our money. This month, did not send to us. They want to send the money for the West Bank, and they don't want to send the money to Gaza. So our president and our government decide to back all the money for them. No. We are one people. We are one. The Palestinian people is one.
Right.
And this time, all of us suffering under the worst occupation.
Your Excellency, it isn't really the case. And, I'd agree with you that the suffering is going on for all Palestinians. But is it really the case that Palestinians are one?
Yes, they are one.
How is this so?
Sure.
How is this so when, Hamas is in charge of Gaza and the Palestinian Authority is in charge of the West Bank? Palestinians are not one.
They are one. I will tell you.
How so?
I will tell you one. I will tell you something. Before 1990, there is nothing. His name is Hamas in Palestine. There is only Fatah. Yasser Arafat lead all the Palestinian people. Before 1990. And we have the first intifada before this date. I want to see you. I want all the people to know we are one. Before 1990, and the Palestinian people start their first intifada in Palestine. Stone against tank. And the Israelis killed more than 5,000 from my people. Most of them was children and women. So before 1990, there is no Hamas. But the Israelis killing my people and stealing our lands and building of illegal settlement. And they try to do our life very difficult. And try to do the life of the journalists, the students, the nurses is very difficult. The problem, the conflict, not between Hamas and Israel. The conflict start in the first moment when Israel start to occupy my people and control our life. And the struggle of the Palestinian people start from the same moment when Israel start to occupy my people. So this struggle, this is the conflict, not between Hamas and Israel. Tell me, the 101 working on the UN, they attacked Israel with the rockets. They entered the border and killed the Israeli soldiers. The 4,670 to this morning, children, they entered the border and killed the Israeli soldiers. They attacked Israel with the rockets. What about 2,700 women from the Palestinian? Israel killed them. They're bombing their housing.
So, how are you processing this?
This conflict between the Palestinians and the Israelis.
It's no longer something between them.
The Israelis should understand. If they want to understand, should understand. This conflict cannot be stopped without back to the table and sit with the Palestinians and talk about the peace process and continue the peace process. You know, according to Oslo Agreement...
We'll talk according to us. We'll finish that point and then we'll come back.
According to Oslo Agreement, Israel should leave our lands which occupied in 1967 after 5 years.
I see.
You see, from 1993, now we are 2023.
I see. Now, I want us to come back to the point about whether or not Palestinians are one and the role is playing in where Palestine finds itself. Because we know that, you mentioned Fatah. Fatah was in charge of Gaza before Hamas
yes.
you know, ousted it and moved it towards the West Bank. So my question now is, who is Hamas to the Palestinian Authority?
You know, I know everything about Gaza. And the Israelis know everything about Gaza. And when Fatah was, I will say maybe something new now, okay? When Fatah was in Gaza and the West Bank and Yasser Arafat lead all the Palestinian people, the Israelis start to think how we can separate the Palestinian people, okay? And they successful to separate us. So if you want to check, they know the truth. How they help the establishment of Hamas in the beginning, because they want someone to attack Yasser Arafat and separate the Palestinian people. They know. And before this conflict started, before the 7th of October, you know, $30 million coming from one of the Arab countries to the airport, Tel Aviv airport, and enter to Hamas in Gaza. Listen to me. The Israelis try to destroy our united as a Palestinian. They want to destroy everything. They want the Palestinian people to hate each other. They want them don't like each other.
And it has succeeded, wouldn't you say?
They success. But now, if you are looking to the Israelis, they are drinking from the same glass. They are separate, and they are suffering like the Palestinians.
But let's talk about the Palestinians. That divide and conquer has succeeded because now we have Gaza Palestinians and we have West Bank Palestinians.
All of us Palestinian. Not Hamas, not all Gaza. Tell me, now they killed, before I leave my house and come to here to the TV, it's close to 12,000 people. And there is more than 2,500 under the buildings. Nobody knows if they are alive or died. Those people, Hamas,
would you admit?
They're not Hamas.
And you make a great point on that. People. But do you admit that the fact that there is no one single Palestinian state in Palestine, we cannot point to one single Palestinian state, it could play a critical role in how weak Palestine is in the negotiations?
All the Palestinian people support the peace process, if I understand your question. All the Palestinian people. Now, if Israel agree to leave our lands, which occupied in 1967, and sign agreement with the Palestinian people, all the Palestinian people will agree, including Hamas.
But if you can't be one, how do you approach the problem? If Palestinians cannot be one, how do you approach the problem?
We are one.
You are
one.
You are
they
not.
Separate us. They separate us in the geography. You know why? Because there is checkpoints between the West Bank and Gaza. There is checkpoints for the Israeli soldiers. Now, if anyone from Gaza wants to travel to the West Bank, he cannot go.
I see.
He should take permission from the Israeli soldiers, the Israeli policeman. If anyone wants to travel from the West Bank to Gaza, he should take permission from the Israeli
One of the things that Israel has said is the fact that even before the Balfour Declaration, the Jews existed in that area. How do you respond to that?
Listen to me. God did not give any person land and take land from anyone. God not director of company. If God give anyone lands, okay, we can text him on the WhatsApp and ask to give you land and give me land and give him land. This is lie. The Palestinian people living in Palestine before 5,000 years, you see. I don't like to talk about this. This is conflict. 75 years. The Israelis don't ask themselves why they cannot living in peace. You don't ask themselves. And now you know, the people in Gaza, you know, the Israelis brought their grandfathers from the land which occupied in 1948. And then they occupied their fathers from the land occupied in 1967. And now they think to protect them and transfer them from Gaza to some of the European countries.
I see.
Why? This will bring the peace to Israel. This will not bring the peace to anyone, to the Israelis and to the Palestinian people.
It is not the case that everyone in Palestine wants the peace talks because the Palestinian Authority has failed in negotiating for the Palestinian people.
No, 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 no. Now, number one, all the Palestinian people, as I said, support the peace process. All the, including Hamas.
It's true that at some point Hamas decided that we appreciate the peace talks as well. But we know that there was some point between 2017 and now that they changed their minds about peace talks.
For Hamas?
Yes.
Oh, no. Okay, let's start.
Okay.
Okay. Hamas did not organize in 1967. Hamas started to work in the Gaza and the West Bank after 1990. Before this date, there is nothing. Nobody hearing about Hamas. There is only Fatah. Now, for a long time, Hamas said and agree about the two-state solution on the land which occupied in 1967. And wallah, believe me, all the Palestinian people, they are the same like the Ghanaian people. They like the peace. They like to living in peace. Ghana is a very peaceful country. And I told you before this interview, my Ministry of Foreign Affairs want to remove me to another country. You see, before 5 years. I told them, no, I want to continue my work in Ghana. Because Ghana is a very peaceful country. I spent some of my time...
Israel doesn't think that the Palestinian people love peace.
They are terrorists. They are looking to Palestinian people as all of them is terrorists.
Indeed. And in fact, they have named groups like the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. They have named groups, in fact, including Fatah itself.
It's terrorist.
Yes. And so for Israel...
And Ban Ki-moon, the former General Secretary of the UN, what's Benjamin Netanyahu say about him? When he asked Israel to stop stealing the Palestinian lands and building of illegal settlement, what he said about him? He said he is terrorist too. Listen to me. Anyone in the world, you see when the General Secretary of the UN, he talked before a few days, the Palestinian, what's happening in Gaza, don't come in like this. There is reason for this. Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israeli government asked him to stop his work and go home.
So what are these groups? What are these groups to Palestine?
The Palestinian people believe with their history, with their lands, support the international law. We respect the international law. We respect the justice in our world.
Right.
And we believe we pray there is one international law in the world and one justice and one human rights. But in the Israeli case...
So how does the Palestine Authority view groups like the Palestine Islamic Jihad?
If Israel leave the West Bank, they will be members of our authority.
I see. Until then?
This is normal.
Until then,
what does it mean? And they will start their work in our authority. But they are not leaving our land. They are entering our camps. They are entering our housing. They arrest people every night from their housing. They're stealing our lands. You know what the settlers doing. They open the door of the settlement and go out. And the Israeli soldiers behind them. They come to Palestinian villages and they start to break anything in the villages. The cars, the windows of the cars, the windows of the housing, and they try to put petrol in our cars and burn it. And when the Palestinian people start to check for stone to defend about themselves, the Israeli soldiers start to shoot them and arrest them. What's this? In the West Bank, there's no Hamas. Okay, there's two routes in the West Bank. This to the Palestinian and this to the Israelis. The Israelis' land, for the Israelis' land, there is no any checkpoints. There's no checkpoints. For the Palestinian road, more than 10, 1,200 checkpoints to the Palestinian people. Why? And they ask you to stop your car. And the Israeli soldiers open the newspaper and read it. After 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours, maybe he will ask 2 cars, 3 cars to pass. What we can call this?
While we're on the issue of the West Bank, let's talk about how the war in Gaza is affecting the West Bank. How are things going on in the West Bank?
All the Palestinian people now feeling very sad about what's happened in Gaza, in the West Bank, in Gaza, outside. I think any human in this world is feeling very sad. If you want to know exactly what's happened in Gaza, I will tell you what's happened with one of the Palestinian women. Her children was sick, and she take him to the hospital. Then she went to the market to buy some food to her children. Since she was in the market, the Israelis bombing the hospital. When she back, she said, I don't find the children, I don't find the doctor, I don't find the hospital. 3. You see.
I see. Israel's question is, why is Palestine not protecting its people?
Why we don't protect our people?
Yes, you're in a war. Why are you not protecting your people?
Where will go? Tell me. Gaza don't have mountains. Gaza, like Accra here, we don't have any mountain. You know, the people, they are living in peaceful in their housing. Where will go? We have the sea. Where will go? And the Israelis blocked Gaza from all the sides. Where do you want the people to go? And they blocked the border between Gaza and Egypt. And don't allow to the helping things, the food and the medicine, to enter to the Palestinian people. You know, 40 children.
Is the Palestinian Authority really helpless, or it just does not want to intervene in what appears between a war, a war between two of its enemies, Hamas and Israel?
My authority?
Yes.
My authority stands with my people, all my people. All my people. Me, I'm in the embassy here. When you go there, you read Palestine Embassy, not Fatah Embassy. So I try to help all the Palestinian people here. I did not ask any one of them, you are from Fatah or Hamas or Jihadi or something like this. In our heart, we like each other. Maybe sometimes in the politica, like here in Ghana, there is MPP, there is NDC, you see. But the Palestinian people, they like each other. They are united now in the war. We cannot talk about anything maybe separate us. Now we want to be united and stand with each other. And I saw the people So
what would you say the Palestinian Authority has done since the war began to protect its people, to save its people, since you are one?
They cannot go to Gaza because there is Israeli soldiers between Gaza and the West Bank. My authority.
Right.
My authority can send the medicine, can send the money, can send the clothes,
can
send
the
food. Yes, they send it. But
how much have you sent?
Plenty. Plenty countries support Palestine with a lot of things. And my authority want to send it. They send it to Gaza. And Israel did not allow anything to enter to Gaza. They don't allow to the UN people to work in Gaza very well. They stopped they don't have petrol. They said, the UN said, we don't have petrol to our cars.
Your authority also has access to international bodies and countries like the US in particular. Have you reached out to them, and what has been the response?
All the countries try to help my people and support my people. And if you see the demonstration, all the world supports
Has President Mahmoud Abbas reached out to these countries in particular?
He called all the presidents in the world. And he talked with them to stop this war. And all the world, including Ghana. Before 3 days.
Let's talk about the Israel, siege in Gaza.
Okay, our president
what has President Abbas done about this?
He called all the presidents, all the governments, ask all the leaders in this world to ask Israel to stop its war against. But he don't have army. Our president have army in the West Bank. He have a plane. He don't have airport. We don't have Hippo. We don't have anything. In the West Bank, they have the same things in Gaza. This is I read the history. I did not read about occupation like this one. This is the worst occupation in the history. They control the smile of our children in the morning. They try to control it.
I see.
When they killed your neighbors, you are not feeling happy. You will wake up in the morning to cry.
Are you saying that the Palestinian Authority has no army at all, has no fighters really at all, because Israel has also complained about attacks on them?
Okay. In the West Bank, as I said to you, we don't have army. We have only policemen.
No, I didn't ask about army, fighters. Do you have fighters of your own?
Our president believes with peace. He don't believe to attack Israel or continue the conflict with the Israelis.
If that be the case, who are the security operatives who clamp down on protesters in the West Bank? Who are the security people that the Palestinian Authority uses to stop Palestinian protesters in the West Bank?
Our policemen and our authority. If they know anyone not good and he work with the Israelis, they arrest him. Why not?
Why would you do that? Why would you arrest your own people for,
If anyone work
protesting that they want Israel to go away from their lands?
No,
Why?
I mean, if anyone is stealing his lands or buy the land from you, and he want to give it to the Israelis, my authority arrest him. If anyone take information about the people in the West Bank and give it to the Israelis, our authority arrest him. We don't like anyone work as a secret agent with the Israelis. My authority try to take care about all the people in the West Bank, and they try to use the money they have it to help my people to stand by the side of all the Palestinian people from all the political parties.
So, Your Excellency, it brings me back to the point where you tell me that you do not have fighters. And I keep asking you about groups like the Palestine Islamic Jihad. What are they to the authority?
There are some groups in the West Bank, not plenty for these groups. They are not plenty. But our president and our government asked them to leave, don't enter our lands. Don't enter. My authority can control them and can find jobs for them to work in our authority, or can check with them or discuss with them how we can continue our struggle against the Israeli occupation. But the Israelis did not give my authority any chance to try to control our people and take care about our people in the West Bank. You know, if you want to travel from Ramallah to Jenin, or from Jenin to Nablus, or from Nablus to Tulkarem, Palestinian city, there is checkpoints between these cities, and don't allow you to travel, and they back you. And nobody can travel from Gaza to the West Bank, you know. You need to take permission from the Israelis.
And is security tighter since the war
began? Yes, and they are maybe ask you where are you going and do story with you, you know. And then they ask you to back. Ras Mubarak, he's MP, Ghanaian.
Yes, so Palestine is helpless at this point, particularly the Palestinian Authority is helpless at this point. And it cannot protect its people any longer.
We try to protect our people. With the things we have it. The things we do not have, what we can do.
Israel says that it will not stop until it eliminates Hamas. We've seen the carnage that comes with that. What is the Palestinian Authority doing about this? Because there are civilians in Gaza.
First of all, this is not the first time Israel attacked Gaza. Israel bombing Gaza in 2008, and they killed more than 2,500 from my people. 500 was the children. Israel attacked Gaza, not Gaza attacked Israel. Israel attacked Gaza again in 2012, and they killed 700 from my people. And Israel bombing Gaza for 51 days in 2014, and they killed more than 2,000 from my people. Most of them was the children. And they bombing Gaza in 2021. What they want? What they want? What's the number the Israelis want to kill to stop the conflict with the Palestinian people? I cannot understand.
Is there anything that the Palestinian Authority can do at this point to ensure that more civilians don't die?
My authority asked them, our president asked them, my people asked them, all the Palestinian people asked, let's sit on the table. What's wrong on this? Let's sit on the table. And let's talk about the peace process. Let's talk about the future of your children and my children. Let's talk about your people here and my people here, your border here and my border here. Let's see one day, maybe one day we'll see the Israelis children play with the Palestinian children. The Israelis don't think about the peace with Palestine at all. They don't believe with our history and our geography. They are not looking to us as a human. They are looking to us as animals.
I see.
As numbers, you know, when I talk 12,000, I'm not meaning the number, you understand? Every one of those people, every one of them, you have family, you have sisters, you have brothers, you have mom, you have neighbors, you have big family. Look to what will happen after the war stops.
Another accusation brought against the Palestinian nation is the fact that you're responsible for Hamas's attack that killed 1,400 Israelis. Would you accept this position?
This did not happen. You know, Israel blocked Gaza 16 years. They control the agriculture, the economy, the food, the medicine, the borders. everything. The people in Gaza did not have any hope. Israel, in the beginning, they killed the peace process. They shoot it. When they shoot, it's Rabin. They shoot it. So the people did not have any hope in Gaza. And Israel, from time to time, as I told you, she bombing Gaza. I told you how many times. They bombing Gaza 4 times before 7th of October. But this conflict did not start in the 7th of October.
Right.
You listen to me. You are a human and I'm a human too. You have family and I have family. Anything I like it to my children, I like it to your children. Anything I like it to my family, I like it to your family. There is no normal person can support the killing of children. Okay? At all. But if anyone support Israel now, that means he support the killing of 4,770 from the Palestinian children and 2,700 from the Palestinian women, and destroying more than 250,000 from the Palestinian housing. If you open the TV, if I open the TV and sitting to see what's happened in Gaza, you know, after 2-3 hours, I'm feeling my head paining me, and I take Panadol.
I see.
I take Panadol this month more than.
But I mean,
3 hours before.
Could the Palestinian Authority also help give up Hamas? Is that a possibility?
Help Hamas?
No, help give up Hamas, because if Israel is going after Hamas, and you're telling me you're one people, you should be able to give up Hamas.
People, my people don't think about this now. No, they don't think about this. My authority think to stop this war. Let's stop this war. Let's stop killing. Let's stop bombing the housing, kill the full families, from the father to the children. And I told you, our president looking to the Palestinian people the same. We are united now against the bombing and the killing of my people. We don't think now about Hamas and Fatah and jihad groups or something like this. In the West Bank, there is no Hamas. Only small groups in the West Bank. And they are killing from Fatah movement. And they are killing children and journalists. What's about Shirin Abu Akleh? She's a journalist like you. And all the world see how Shirin Abu Akleh killed life. They killed her life. What they are doing after that? Nothing. And she's a Christian. She's not Muslim.
I see. I want us to talk about some of the comments that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has made to foreign media. He's talked about the post-war plan and the fact that you don't think the Palestinian Authority is fit enough to take over Gaza. How is the Palestinian Authority viewing this?
You know, the Israelis dream to transfer the Palestinian people from Gaza, all the Palestinian people. And they dream to transfer my authority and the Palestinian people in the West Bank to Jordan. This is their dream. You know, when they organize demonstration, what they are said in the demonstration? They don't say kill the Palestinian. This is the Israelis. I'm clear. They are said in their language, Mavit la-Arabim. Mavit la-Arabim. That's mean in the English, kill the Arabs, all the Arabs, or the death to the Arabs. You know, they don't like to living in peace in this area.
Well, Israel could say the same thing. When Hamas says from the river to the sea, they also
Hamas support the two-state solution to the land which occupied in 1967.
Well, we know they have said that, but their actions don't say that they support.
They say it. The leader of Hamas said it before a few days.
Yes, but their action prior to this didn't show that they are in support of two-state solution.
All the people, the Palestinian people support.
Now they are.
No. From long time. The leaders of Hamas have meeting.
Well, I have told you.
For a long time.
Yes,
maybe
I have told
more than
you.
15 years.
Right.
And they said we support the two-state solution.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that while they have said they support the two-state solution, they have never also given up the idea of putting down their arms, and they have kept it, and that's what we saw on October 7th. Wouldn't that be the case?
Okay. If we establishment our state and all the world recognize with our state, is there any country living without weapons? We need to buy some weapons to defend about ourselves. Why not? Now Ghana have weapons, Burkina Faso have weapons, Mali, all the countries in the world buy weapons to defend about themselves. Israel, what Israel want? She want the Israelis to living in the West Bank and Gaza. They call it a state, and control the borders. And if anything enter to our places, she should check it on the borders. and enter anyone she want, and not allow anyone to enter our, what they want. They want to control our life to which time? What they want from the Palestinian people.
Maybe I should
They
ask
want us
you,
to leave our lands. We will not leave our lands. We are staying there.
what do the Palestinian people want?
We want the peace. We want the international law. We want the justice. We want the human rights.
How do you think that this peace could be achieved?
If there is international law, you will see the peace in the Middle East.
International laws have always been there.
Now,
they haven't helped.
Okay,
the Oslo Accords have broken down.
Okay, I will tell you. The United States of America support Israel 100%. And the President of America, he said before a few days, the only solution for this conflict, the two-state solution, right? He took. Okay, if this is the only solution, and the European leaders say the same, all of them recognize with Israel. Why did not recognize with Palestine? So where is the international law? Russia, they talk about Russia.
You think international law has been unfair to the Palestinian people?
I don't understand. How many international law we have, I don't understand. I don't know. Now I don't know. If there is one for Russia, one for Ukraine, one for Palestine, one for Iraq, one for Libya, one for China, how many international law we have? When we have one international law, one justice, one human rights, all the world will living in peace. All the world.
Do you think the international community is treating Palestine unfairly?
They try to help us, but we need more. We need more. We need to stop this war crime against my people. We want all the world to ask Israel to stop its occupation to our children, our women, our people. We want to stop this conflict. We want all the international to help us. We want them to help us. My people looking for peaceful life. We want to living in the villages with peace.
Back to Gaza. Does the Palestinian Authority have what it takes to take control of Gaza if this war ends?
Now we cannot talk about anything. Now we are calling for stop the war. After that, nobody can enter to control Gaza from outside. The Palestinians can do it.
We are talking about...
We will talk together. We will talk together. And we will see what will happen. But after the war, not now.
Well, but we're talking about the war stopping. If we want the war to stop, we have to ensure that it doesn't only... it's properly doused and does not reignite. And that will mean that somebody needs to be in charge of Gaza.
Who's? What he said. Who's? Not my authority. Who's?
Well, so I'm asking you who.
You want to continue?
I'm asking you, do you have what it takes to...
I'm hearing what he said. What he wants. He wants to occupy Gaza again? Or he wants to bring some armies from another country to take care about the people in Gaza? If there is people in Gaza. If there is people in Gaza. I know what they are thinking. I know what the Israelis think.
What do you think Israel is thinking?
They are thinking to transfer my people outside Palestine, outside Gaza. And some of them said we will back and build settlement on the Palestinian lands. Listen to me. Before 1948, nobody talked about something, its name is Israel. For 1948. And if you read the history, all the world talk about British-occupied Palestine. They talk in the history. British-occupied Ghana, right? French-occupied Lebanon. British occupied Palestine. They are not talking Israel. Before British, they said Turkish was in Palestine. Before Turkish, nobody talked about Israel. Israel establishment in 1948, and after that, some of the countries give her the weapons, and from that day they start to kill my people. Why?
I see.
Why?
I mean, so if the Palestinian Authority do not want to speak about who takes over Gaza after the war,
my authority ready. Why not? We are taking care about...
You are ready? Is that what you said?
My authority? Of course, we're ready to take care about our people. Why not? Our president, our government is ready. Why not? But we are not talking about this in this time. Now there is war. We talk about to stop the war. After the war, if the international community asks our authority to take care about them, our people, we take care about them before, and we take care about them now, and in the future we take care about our
I see. So again, I need to understand. Israel has besieged Gaza now. Is it the Palestinian Authority who are fighting back, or it is Hamas that is fighting back?
Fighting back with whose?
I mean, who is fighting back the Israeli army on ground in Gaza now? Who is doing that?
Now the conflict with you, if you mean the soldiers and the soldiers.
Yes, whose soldiers?
Hamas and Israel.
I see.
Hamas and Israel. Okay,
so
but
Palestinian authorities.
There are some groups, not only Hamas. There are some groups from following Fatah groups because they defend about their lands now and their children. You see, like in the West Bank, sometimes Fatah groups defend about themselves and their people and their lands. This conflict, nobody can stop this conflict without the establishment of Palestinian state on the land which occupied in 1967. If you want to see the peace in the Middle East, you will not find it without the establishment of an independent Palestinian state on the land which occupied in 1967, including East Jerusalem. If there is international law, this is the international law. If you want to talk about the international law, this is the international law. The Israelis don't want. The Israelis don't want to stealing every day from our lands and building of illegal settlement on our lands.
I see.
And then they talk about peace, which peace? And they said, we defend about ourselves. What? You defend about yourself? You have all the weapons on the world against people who did not have anything, and you said you defend about yourself?
There are those who think that this war is a war of religious beliefs, it's a war of religion. And that's why the Palestinians want to reach the area of Jewish people. What would the Palestinian Authority say to this?
Listen to me, this conflict, not religion conflict. At all. From the beginning to now, this is political conflict. And this conflict not between the Muslims and the Christians. Some of the African people think this conflict between the Muslims in Palestine and the Christian. The Israel is not the Christian, number one.
But is it Jewish. A conflict between
they are Jewish.
Muslims and Jewish people?
Number two. When they bombing, the conflict between the Muslims and the Christian, the Palestinian people and the Israelis, not the Jewish.
Okay.
Not the Israelis, you see, the occupier. This conflict, not with the Jewish and not with the Israelis, with any person come to occupy our lands.
That's why it's what
let me continue.
Right,
you know the first hospital, they bombed it, Mamadani Hospital. You know that this church is the Christian hospital, not Muslim hospital. Christian hospital. They built it before 148 years, before the establishment of Israel. You see? And when they bombed it, they killed more than 300 from the people. And near this hospital, there is a church. And some people injured inside the church. I saw them on the TV. They are Christian, they are our brothers. After that, they bombed two Christian too. Two church too. They bombed it in Gaza.
That's why what you're saying, Israel is saying that this war is a war of religion for Palestinians, despite the fact that even in Palestinian schools, anti-Semitism is taught there. The children of Palestine are taught to hate Israelis. Is that the case?
Let me see. Let me ask you. If anyone tried to occupy your country, what you will tell your children? You will tell them about your history of your country. You will ask them to love the occupier. Listen to me. There is no people in this world like anyone to control their life. You know? Number two, the Israelis want to occupy our lands, control our life, stealing our lands, building of illegal settlement. Don't find job to us. And if we find job to us, if you find job to us, not job, if you find work to us sometimes. And maybe some of them think we take some from the Palestinian to work in Israel. You know, when any person enter there and see the land, he remember that this is his...
Would you say that then it's true what the Israelis say, that the Palestinians, prior to now, have harbored hatred for them?
We don't hate anyone because of his religion. I'm Muslim. My deputy, he's a Christian in the embassy here. My deputy Christian, I am Muslim. My close friend in Palestine, he's a Christian. We are living together. We don't hate anyone because of his religion. We like to living in peace. And this conflict, as I said to you, it is a political conflict, not religion conflict. We like to see all the people living in peace in all the world, not only in Palestine. And as I said to you, anything I like it to myself, I like it to you.
Right.
So in the moment when Israel agree to sit with the Palestinian people on the table, you will see this conflict will stop.
I see. One of the things the U.S. has said is the fact that they will fully assume their responsibility within the framework of a comprehensive political solution that includes all of the occupied West Bank, including East Jerusalem and Gaza Strip. And he was saying this, the Palestinian Authority was saying this to Anthony Blinken when he visited earlier this month. What exactly is President Mahmoud Abbas talking about here?
He asked him to stop the war and asked to stop the Israeli occupation to our people. And he asked him to find solution for this conflict. The only country in this world can ask the Israelis to stop their occupation since 1 month to the Palestinian lands and leave the Americans.
But the PA hasn't shown a lot of leadership in the West Bank. And so when President Abbas talks about assuming full responsibilities and a comprehensive political solution, what does that even mean?
It's meaning we want this occupation to go from our lands. We need to stop this war. We need to help our people and take care about our people in Gaza and in the West Bank. We don't want anyone to control our life. It is not easy for you. If you want to travel from Accra to Kumasi and you need to go to the policeman to take permission, how you will feeling? Tell me how you will feeling inside your country. The Amnesty report, what they said about Israel, what they said. This is an apartheid country. And Amnesty not Palestinian organization, it is an international organization.
And that's how you Palestinians feel?
Now they refuse the two-state solution, the Israelis, right? And they refuse one state to living together. They refuse. What they want? They want to continue their occupation. They want to continue apartheid system against the Palestinian people. What is the humanity? I don't know. I cannot understand. Sometimes when I saw on the TV how they are killing the children. You know, yesterday they cut one of the hospitals. There is no light. There is no water. And 40 from the children, they died the last night. 40. There is no oxygen. So they died. What they want?
Has the authority been talking to the League of Arab Nations?
Yes, our president, in his meeting with them, he talked about try to send money to help the people in Gaza and the West Bank.
I see. Is there any plan to include perhaps soldiers as well to help Palestinians in Gaza?
Soldiers?
Yes, from the other Arab nations.
After the war or now?
I mean, the war is still ongoing. If soldiers are to come in, they should be now.
No.
There is no plan to...
No. Who will allow them to enter? Israel? No. Israel wants to continue to the end. She wants to occupy Gaza and transfer my people from Gaza.
I see.
And that means we have Nakba in 1948, we have another one in 1967, and we will have another one in 2023.
In July, the authority ceased security cooperation with Israel. Okay. Looking back now, do you think it was a wrong move?
I think our government should answer this about this question, not me.
Well, you are government too,
I know, but the Palestinian people should think about this and decide it's good or not good.
But what do you think?
Me? If they stop it in this situation, it's better. If they stop, it's better.
If they stop, it's better. I see.
If I understand you, if you mean the security, they are working together, right?
Well, yeah, initially they were working together. Now they are not.
If they stop it in this situation, it's better. Because...
If they're still working together, it's better?
No.
Okay, this situation.
If they stopped working together, it's better.
If they stop working together,
yes, it's better.
I see.
We don't need to work with anyone in this situation.
I see.
We only want to take care about our people and our children and our families.
I see. A poll conducted by the Palestinian Center for Policy and Survey Research in March showed that 63% of the people in the West Bank and in Gaza view the Palestinian Authority as a burden it would go to translate that the authority has lost its legitimacy amongst the people, and that's why we have groups like the Lions Den coming up in the West Bank.
Who's weak?
That's why there is group
okay
like the Lions Den coming up in the West Bank. What do you say to this poll that says that people view the authority as a burden?
Let me tell you something. In 2006, there was election in Palestine. If the Americans and the Israelis want Fatah to win the election, Fatah will win the election. But on that time, you don't want Fatah to win the election. They want Hamas to win the election. You understand?
Yeah.
Because of that, in the West Bank, what the Israel is doing with our authority now? They help them? No. They try they want to see my authority very weak. Because of that, some of the groups start to establishment in the West Bank because they don't want my authority to be strong in the West Bank. I told you, you don't want anyone to be strong. My authority, Hamas, the Jihad, the smaller groups, they want to separate us all the time. They want all the Palestinian people to be weak, not too strong. But this will not help them. Believe me, this will not help the Israelis. Now, there is something very important to change in our world. Change. We understand the war in the past, that the warplane attacked this place, and then the tanks attacked the place, and then you attacked with the hound, and then the soldiers enter this place. Now, if you want to attack any country, you don't need all this one.
Okay.
90% from the attack of Russia to Ukraine, it is rockets.
And that's what's happening in Gaza?
Israel attacked Gaza with the rockets, yeah.
Okay.
The rockets and bombing with the tanks.
I
Israel
see.
entered Gaza. Now Israel in the middle of Gaza.
Yeah.
She entered Gaza. But how many people they killed? How many people in the streets? And the pet and the dogs eat from their body now. They don't allow to anyone to reach to them.
Is there anything that the authority could do to ensure that these 240 hostages that Israel is asking for are returned?
My authority can do everything. They can back the Israelis to their homes, but the Israelis should back the Palestinian people. The Israel arrested them, more than 7,000 now, to their homes too. Why not? Let's think for a moment about the peace.
I see.
Moment, only a few minutes.
I mean, can the authority do anything to reach out to Hamas perhaps and have them?
They can do this, why not? But Israel, I think, try to talk with Qatar and with Egypt about this, about Egypt. And my authority can do a lot of things.
Is the authority
and we can help.
In this bid to want to negotiate with Israel and bring a lasting peace to the area, is the authority involved at all?
My authority pushed to all the time to the peace between the Palestinians and the Israelis.
So we know that, Qatar, we know that the UAE and all that, they are all being called to talks to ensure that peace returns to the place. I'm asking if the Palestinian Authority is also called at all.
To back to the peace process?
Yeah, is anybody calling you to the table to come and help bring peace to the situation?
All the Arab countries ask my authority to continue the peace process with the Israelis.
I see.
Okay. But, and the Arab countries support the peace process between the Israel and the Palestinian people. The problem not in the Arab countries or the Palestinian side. The problem in the Israeli side. If you ask anyone from the Israelis, show me your map, the map of Israel. Ask any one of them, where is your map? You know what he will show you? He will show you the map of all Palestine. All Palestine. And if you ask them, you agree to leave the lands which occupied in 1967 according to the international law? They will say no. You agree to leave the Palestinian lands and sign agreement with them about the peace process on the land which occupied in 1967? They will say no. Because of that, there is big land between Ashkelon and Ashdod. Ashdod and Tel Aviv, inside Israel. They don't use it.
I see.
They're stealing from our lands every day to building of illegal settlement on our lands. Why?
I see.
Why?
Your
and
Excellency,
after that, they talk on the peace. I don't know which peace they are talking about.
Your Excellency, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
My guest today on Hot Issues has been the Palestinian Ambassador to Ghana, Abdal Fatah Ahmed Alsatarri, who says that peace needs to return and the war has to stop. We'll see you same time next week. Bye-bye.
The Day Show
is sponsored by Onga.
Make some noise! Well, I'm so excited to be back on your TV screens as usual, bringing you some of the most incredible conversations ever and the fun games that you always look forward to. Today is going to be no different. My name is Perla Mundi and I'm doing this with DJ Filter and my incredible studio audience and you. Well, big thank you to Dr. Has Furniture. The beautiful furniture you see on this set, you can walk into their showroom and pick some for yourself. They're located on the Spintex Road, just close to Manette Junction. Today, hey, have you heard Mabo Udin Amafreo? Do you have an idea who's coming? Okay, well, she's joining us on the show today. We have an incredible young woman who also makes bags locally. We'll be speaking to them right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Furniture on the Day Show is sponsored by Alfimo GH.